Hello everybody, I'm Zandam, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about gear and stats and the process of gearing up. So, a buddy of mine has Black Mage, and we've been looking at Black Mage stats, trying to figure things out with how that is, because Black Mages seem to be running different stat priorities, and it's exceedingly difficult to find information, particularly about jobs and stats. You get basic kind of things. There was the website The Balance, which was amazing, but you'll find if you go there, it's down, and you have to go to their Discord, which isn't too bad. You hit that, and then you go on to Discord, you join up, and then you go through all their catalog, and it's laid out pretty well. If you're looking for Black Mage, you go to Black Mage resources. Pretty easy. But there's a lot of different stuff there, and there's different stuff for different times. So I found this tool in there, and it's called the Gear Planner, and we're going to get to that in a second. But first, before we do that, one of the ways that you might attack this, because this is the way I attacked it, is you go to some place like FFLogs, and we're going to take a look at some Black Mages that do it well. And this is all the people that are really good at what they do. So let's go to Black Mage, and you could take a look at all these different Black Mages, and you can click on them, and you can get their names from the lodestone, and you can take a look at what they're wearing, and you'll find that, you know, one of them will be geared a certain way, and you'll find out that they didn't log off in Black Mage, so the gear that they're wearing has nothing to do with you. Then you'll click on a different one, and you'll find that they share gear with the Red Mage. And you'll know that because there's no spell speed on it, on the gear. So obviously, that's not what we're looking for. Eventually, if you look through enough of these, you'll find that there's a couple different ways that people gear up, and it doesn't seem to have that simplistic answer that Ankh-Morn had, right? With that whole, just get the max eye level and then do your stats this way. Crits king, direct hits second, and then determination last, after you figure out whatever your spell speed is. So some of these people here are running around with 3,800, 4,000 crit, and their spell speed is something like 1,800, and they have almost no determination at all, and their direct hit is something like 2,500. Some of them have a direct hit of 4,000, they have a crit of something like 600, and their spell speed is in the 3,000s. So there's no real rhyme or reason, and if you look at their damage numbers, or their scores, they'll be right here on the side, and if you look at their damages, like this guy might be a speed Black Mage, and this guy might be a crit Black Mage. Not that big of a difference, but the way that he's completely set up, they're completely different. So you don't know what to do. So this tool here is a README. I'm going to link this. You create a copy, and then you can manipulate the copy. You're not going to be able to use it from the initial thing. So I already did all this, and I have it zoomed in pretty good. We're at 150, so it's not normally this zoomed in. You're going to be prompted to make sure that you put your job in. This tool particularly only works for a couple jobs, right? Black Mage is one of them, so this is going to help our buddy out. Do not click this button, because that's going to sync you to different stuff, and it's going to throw off all the stuff, right? Bad. Don't hit that button. And if we go over here, we turn off all our party buffs here. Back to what we're at. So I threw in his gear manually, and this is basically the gear that he's wearing at the moment. And then I went through and put materia in these slots. And what happened is he has materia, and his gear his damage is something like 20,800, something like that. And the new materia that I put in bumped him up to 21,989. And then there's the food, right? So this was our food choice. This is the food choice that people recommend on the internet. So let's 21,925. So what happens if this 510 piece becomes a 520 piece? Well, obviously that number is going to go up, right? So this is pretty much how this tool works. There's a little bit of a delay there, but we have our stats here at the bottom. 20,059 for skill speed, spell speed, same thing. Determination, crit, and direct hit. That's what this material setup. Now this whole up down thing, this red is the top, that's the up, and then 25,000 is down. That's basically best in slot that I could find, and that's what they do. That's their best in slot damage. So we want to make that number this number. Obviously we can't do that unless we have the best gear, but we can try to get the most out of the gear that we have, and that's what I've done here. Right, so I've turned 20,500 or 900, whatever it was, to almost 22,000. And how do we know what materia to put in? So I follow the formula of Ankh-Morn, right? So it said to find your spell speed, skill speed, which I found on a Discord, right? There's different thresholds, and that's going to determine your opener, specifically with Black Mage. I think Samurai works the same way. And then we try as many crits as we can, but some slots aren't going to let us put crit in. Like this guy right here has 448 crit. So, this one, 294 crit. So I click on here, and you see that crit isn't an option. So I put direct hit in. But according to our formula, if I have a choice to put in direct hit, this should be direct hit, and direct hit is a choice that I could make. We're 21,925. I put direct hit in. 21,913. So that Ankh-Morn thing telling us that direct hit is better than determination, not necessarily true, because our gear is at a certain point where determination at this point actually would give us an increase. And a lot of that is because of this little graph over here, this table with stat tier helper, right? This is wasted points. So let's take a look at direct hit. Direct hit is 2723. This says 2720. So when we hit 2720, we saw a stat increase. Our next stat increase will be 2726. We're not at 2726. We're at 2723. That means that 3 points are wasted. Those points are doing nothing. So ideally, we want as few of these points as possible, but keep in mind that obviously more damage is more damage, right? So we want more damage more than messing around with this little table. So don't get too distracted. So yeah, these could be better, but you see, determination was one of them, and in this case, determination actually was the materia slot at the time for the gear that we currently have to make the damage go up. So we can't just say that crit is best and that you put it on always, and then the direct hit is second, because the stats are a little more involved than that, right? The same way we can't say smoked chicken is best for black mages, because when I throw on Twilight Potato Salad, and then we wait, you see that number went up. But that's a 3-star food. Right. So clearly it's a little more involved than we think. But if you follow the Ankh-Morn, crit is best, because crit individually is best. It's just that there's a relationship with other stats. So if we have all these turned on, all our party buffs turned on, you see that we're still about 2,000 damage off, right? Even with that jump to 25,000, because these party buffs are all percentage based, so they're a little more easy to deal with. I hope that this tool is helpful in some way. I'm going to put that in the description with a link. Thanks. Have a nice night.